What's up, you guys? All right, we're back. If you saw the first attempt of this, it didn't work. So let's see if this works this time. So I'm going to go live today. We're going to talk to my friend Brianna Camacho all about things email marketing. So if you noticed, it was pretty quiet in here last week. It's because I got hacked by Facebook. So somebody hacked, well, not by Facebook. Somebody hacked my Facebook. I got locked out of my account for multiple days, finally gave up, started a new account. So I was not in here. So this training was supposed to happen last week. Obviously it did not. So we're going to start making this a thing on Mondays. At 12:30, I'm going to bring on somebody new to teach. So I know a lot of you have massive amounts of genius and you would love to share them, and I would love for you to share them inside of here. So today will be the first one, and here's Brianna now. Yay! It's working. All right, guys, last time did not work. I was somebody. What we're learning is that it has to be on your phone. So she's coming in. So she is an email marketing expert, and she's going to teach us. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Does that work? Nope, that doesn't work. There we go.
I'm going to be right side up, and she's going to be upside down. This is how life is going to go.
All right, there we go. I don't know where I'm looking, but I'm going to try to look at you.
I know, right? It's weird. I know if I look at you, it's going to look like I'm looking wrong the whole way. So I'm going to try to look at my camera, but whatever. They know what we're looking somewhere. All right, my dear. Well, welcome to the call. Will you start by introducing yourself and just telling us a little bit about you?
Sure. My name is Brianna Camacho. Still getting used to that. I'm an email marketing strategist, and my favorite thing about what I do and the thing that I do differently is that I focus on building connections. So with everything that we do, opt-in rates and all that stuff, and I'll talk about that later, but the center of it is people, and I put that at the center, and I help you focus on being authentic and really resonating with your voice and connecting it to the people who need to hear you, so that you can have those better open rates and you can have those sales and generate income. And it also works for if you have a Facebook account that magically gets put out. That you can still connect with your audience.
Because I needed more email marketing last week. So this is the universe is dropping hints like, hey, you need to have other ways you can talk to your people.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So how long have you been doing what you do?
I've been doing what I do for about a year. I was trained before digital marketing was like a buzzword. I studied it in school with an emphasis on technical writing, which was really fun. And so I've had about 6 years of schooling on it, and then realized that social media was not where I wanted to be. Writing websites is fun, but it's not what I wanted to do. And around the same time, I found email, and it was a platform that I understood. I understood how to use email. And I've been there since last year when I joined a group coaching program. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so help us with somebody that's never done email marketing. Like, where do they start? What's the very first step to kind of get into this?
Gotcha. So I have like 5 things that I start. So I always start with knowing who you are, like what your business is, what your mission, what your voice, what your vision is, so that you can tell it to people. And then the second thing is to understand who you're talking to and what they need,
okay.
What they have, like what their pain points are, for lack of better words, right? So understanding your message, your audience and where they are, and then understanding knowing your offer, your like big offer. So not like group coaching or anything, but the value that you bring into the world with your business.
Awesome.
Right? Because that's what people resonate with, not a freebie, not a download. So those are the first 3. And then the last 2 are to get an email marketing platform and to know the customer's journey. So having the software necessary to do what we need to do, but also understanding how to map that out and creating that plan before you send that first email, before you put up your website, before you build your freebies or opt-ins and all of that fun stuff. So really having that journey set so that when you go to people, you can say, hey, I understand where you are. I understand where you're coming from. I have a solution that can help you. Here's how I can keep you accountable. Nice. And coaching makes that a whole lot easier.
Yeah. I love it. So what do you feel like the biggest like mistake or misconception that people have when it comes to email marketing?
Email marketing in general, the biggest misconception is that every sale is spam. That it's hard to be in an email and to write an email without sounding pushy or salesy or all those words. Like it feels gross, it's slimy, I don't know what to write, all of those things. The other one is that I have to have a website before I make connections. Okay. And most of the email marketing platforms being like ConvertKit or MailChimp or Aweber, ActiveCampaign, all of them, for the most part, have a way that you can put up a landing page. You can put up just a by itself page so that you don't have to worry about building your entire website and hiring a copywriter to do all of those things. You can start having those connections already and then launch your website later. So those would be the two biggest things. And there's a lot of different ways that you can sell in an email without it being salesy. So those are the two biggest ones.
Yeah, I like what you said earlier about it being about the connection and the person. Like if someone is on your list, most likely they've raised their hand to some degree and said, hey, I'm kind of interested in what you're doing. And so if you are trying to solve their problem and help them solve their problem and guide them, I always talk about being the guide, not the salesperson. If you can absolutely do that in a way where you're just providing value and content and saying, hey, here's this thing, like, do you want to know more about it? You can take a step closer, right? And so I think that's where a lot of people, it's just learning how to write that way, which obviously is what you're really, really good at. So like where do you see email marketing fitting in with somebody's overall strategy?
Overall strategy, the analogy that I like to use when people ask me big picture marketing, like where does email fit in? So in marketing, we have all of these different inbound tools, right? We have our website, we have social media. All of those, the website, the social media, those are really good as like a storefront. So imagining like a bakery or a storefront. This is your brand awareness. This is where people come in, or not even come in, but this is where people can see and just from the window know a little bit more about who you are, what you do, what kind of store, and whether they fit in, right, just from that storefront.
Yeah.
And then your email opt-in, that little form that says subscribe here, is that door that they get to open, that you get to offer them so that they can come in. And then your email marketing is the store front, the actual building itself. In an analogy, if you're not in an actual brick and mortar, but it's the store itself. It's where you come in and people greet you and they're like, welcome to our store. This is what we have. And they can really nurture that relationship. And if they like what they see and they see that it's a store that they really like, then they can pick something up and go purchase it. But that doesn't happen if you have someone and nobody asks you, hey, how are you doing? Right?
Right.
So really, it's that place where you can go and build connection on a deeper level.
Yeah, and make it more human, right? And I mean, I keep saying this, but I think especially in the way the world has been now, where everybody's been online and in their houses and whatever, it's like people need connection. And so if you can show up and be real inside of your email, like don't go be a voice that you're not. It's just like on social, be authentically you and allow people to get to know you through email. So so what do you think the most important thing to look at when someone's either starting or when they're looking to get started in email marketing? What are the big things to start with or to look at?
What to look at as far as the tech side of it, because if you've done those first 5 steps, like if you know all the way up through your offer and you've mapped out that journey, meaning you know once they download the freebie, once they sign up for your list, the next step is this. And it could just be going to your Facebook page. And then from there, every little step that gets them to their aha transformation moment where they're like, this is a no-brainer, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Once you have that mapped out, then understanding your automations, at least like a welcome nurture automation where like coming into the storefront, you can say, hi, this is our business. This is where you can learn more about us. This is how we can help you get to the thing that you need so that you can purchase, right? I feel like that's really high level. I don't know if that made sense.
No, that makes sense though. I mean,
okay.
I like the storefront analogy a lot. So on the tech side, because I think that's what scares a lot of like new coaches and just, I know I went through that battle of like, oh my God, before I can do anything, I got to have like 5,000 emails written and this website and Pinterest. And I was like, oh yeah, I just want to coach some people, please. Right. So if somebody was just starting out, is there one email platform that you think is simplest? Like if you were just going to send somebody somewhere, where would you start them and where do you think you get the most bang for your buck?
My starter and the one that I like the most, and I've used like 4 of them in a year. The one that I love the most is ConvertKit.
Okay.
Their free version allows you, not the automations, which you can do without if you're just starting and just like building those connections one-on-one.
Yeah.
But it's easy. It's the most user-friendly one that I found. It's really intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it really easy to tag people. And tags are the other thing that I think are really important because that is how you are categorizing the people who are coming into your list. It makes it easier to qualify them. It makes it easier for you to create a call to action that's going to actually have them take action. Because if you're sending a call to action to your Facebook group, right? People who come through your Facebook group and they're podcast listeners, and you're telling them, hey, go join my Facebook group, and they just want to listen to the podcast, then you're not really speaking to them on the way that they learn. So being able to have those categories and knowing where you want to lead them, this is why I talk about that journey and that map so that you know, I have people coming in from Facebook. I have people coming in from Pinterest. I have, if you're coaching on health and wellness, maybe you talk more about, I have people who are struggling with losing weight versus I have people who are just trying to get more energy. And then having those tags so you can say, oh, these people are focused on energy and little tips and stuff like that, rather than these people want nutrition and diet and regimen and stuff like that. So being able to really just kind of know your customer and know those characteristics is super, super helpful.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, so I know for a lot of people, I mean, at least I think there's the whole like email marketing is dead. Like we got to always switch, like we need to switch to text messages or messenger or whatever. So on an email standpoint, like A, do you feel like that is true? And B, how do you improve engagement and kind of the open rate when you're sending emails?
Ooh,
sorry, I created that one all on my own.
No, you're totally good. So email marketing is not dead. Far and wide across business, email is still king. It is still number one. Text messages they're gaining more popularity along with social media. But even with that, in order to have social media, you have to have an email account.
Yeah.
And so I just, it's integral into everything that you're doing. So that's the first question. The next one was engagement. How do you boost engagement?
Rate. Like, how do you get people to engage with your email?
The easiest way is to, from email 1, coach them how to learn from you. So that's creating, what are they called? Subject lines.
Yeah.
Creating subject lines that are readable and resonate with your audience. And it could be something just as much as, hey, I have this gift for you, or I was thinking about how I could do something better, or just really making that personal connection to say, hey, and to disrupt from all of the noise of the buy here, 20% off discount there, that they're seeing in their inbox, right? So that's first, and then letting them know from the time that they subscribe, in that first confirmation, here's the steps you need to take. Look for this. There's an email that's going to say this, so that they can go to their email and then they know this person's leading me to go do this. And then having a call to action at the bottom, which is going to further lead them, right?
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's one of the things just in general of a clear call to action. Tell people what you want them to do. Yes. Don't assume, right? Confused buyers never buy. And if they don't know where to go or where to find you or how to get more information, then they're gonna stop, right? I mean, it's funny because this is a side note, like I'm on a lot of email lists, and I'll be like, who is this person? What are they trying to do? And a lot of times, and not to like be hard on people, but I'll go to the bottom and I don't even know who they are, right? It'll say their name, but nothing about their website, where to find them on Facebook. I'm like, who are you and how did I end up on your site? And like, why are you trying to sell me something? Because I don't even know who you are, right? So I think having that clear call to action, having that clear, find me here, follow me here, get to know more about me there, is really, really important, because we know in sales, it's the know, like, and trust factor. So if you can build that through your email and then tell people what to do, they're going to do it more often. So
yeah,
I love that.
It might even get to the point, because I have a few that I'm subscribed to, and I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I have an email. They sent me an email. I know I have to do something. Like I wake up and I'm like, okay, that's in my morning routine now, because they've shown that consistency, and that's a great way to boost engagement. And then also having those tags so that you can create those call to actions moving forward, to drive them to actions that feel good for them.
Right. And in most, tell me if this is true or not true, and I think in ConvertKit, and I'm definitely not a like master at this yet, but in most email marketing systems, if somebody opens something, you can tag them into another group, right? If you're gonna be like, okay, they followed the call to action. Is that true or not true?
Yes, I know you can do that for ConvertKit. I've had a hard time doing that with MailChimp.
Okay.
Their system is a little HTML heavy for me.
Yeah.
It's not intuitive at all.
Yeah. That's kind of why I switched to. I was like, well, this one just makes more sense. And I looked at quite a few of them, and some of them I was like, I feel like I need a tech degree, and if it's that much work to write an email, I'm never gonna send it. So yeah. Hey Jen, I know you're on here. If you have any questions, drop them here and we will answer them as we start finishing up. So any last words that you'd like to leave us with? Well, first of all, at the end, I'll have you tell us how to get in contact with you. But do you feel like there's anything else that we missed that would be really crucial to helping people maybe get over the fear of thinking about starting an email marketing campaign?
There's, which one to touch on?
All of the fears, so many fears, or two, or whatever feels good. You just tell us.
Two of the biggest fears, and I don't think people realize that it is a fear, but one of them is getting stuck at what to write. That is, by and large, imposter syndrome, just hiding. Because if you are in a space and you are coaching and you are having conversations with people, you know what they need, right? And it's really just getting out of your head, and maybe it's sitting down with a timer. I put on a 5-minute timer for myself, and I just sit and I write an email in 5 minutes. I know the call to action. If you start with the call to action, you know what you want them to do at the end, and you just write that message leading to the call to action. So that's probably one of the
don't
things.
Overthink it. Much like everything else, just do the damn thing. Action is the best thing you can do in business. Just take some action.
Yes, and remember that on the other side of every email is a person. It's just people every day. And that's the game that we're playing. And if you just go in with, I want to have a conversation and I'm here to help you to reach your goals, that kills 99% of all of that fear that you have. It doesn't matter how many times you send it to them. If you have that one person that unsubscribes every 6 emails, it just opens room for more connection.
Yeah. Well, and it just like if they're not in alignment with you, then that's fine, right? Like that's totally fine. Okay. So Jen says, I'd love to know how to reintroduce yourself if you haven't been consistent with email marketing. And then her second question is, how many emails do you recommend on a monthly basis? Thank you for the questions, Jen.
Yes. So I'll start with the last one and then I'll go to the other one. So ideally, as consistent as you can commit to. That's the long and short of it. If it takes you an hour and in that hour you only write one email, then you can send that one email once a week. If you can commit to more and you're going to do that consistently and you know that you have that time blocked, then I would say to do that. I know people who send weekly. I know people who send daily. It's up to you and your business. But I would be super transparent with your people and let them know, like, you will receive an email on this day and this day. So my people know Tuesday morning and Thursday morning they're going to get an email.
Yeah. And I love that because, again, like, I'm always about commit first, figure it out later. And so if you tell everyone, I'm going to show up here, I'm going to send you an email Tuesday, on Monday, you're like, oh, crap, I said I was going to send an email. You have to send that email, right? So I love that commit first. And we just talked last week about time management and all that stuff. So I love that you said time blocking of like, don't let this suck up your entire life. Just like go do the thing and the action will produce the outcome. So I love that.
Yes.
Sky.
I think I missed the first part of the question while I was answering the second.
That's okay. Yeah. So if you haven't been consistent, like what would an email look like of reintroducing yourself, maybe in a different avenue, or even just like, hey, sorry, I've been doing the thing, but here's what to expect from me.
Just that.
Yeah.
So in a re-engagement sequence, in those emails, and this is why the tags are really important. If you have that information, you know that X number of people came in on certain freebie, right? Just saying, hey, you downloaded my freebie. I just wanted to reintroduce myself. It's been a while. Be super transparent. Just be yourself. And then from there, send them 3 to 5 emails of where they are in their journey, right? So if the first email you're like, hey, I just wanted to reintroduce myself. You got this freebie, X, Y, and Z. Ask them a question. How can I help you? What are you struggling with? How can I serve you going forward? And then if they want to at that point, if this doesn't resonate with you, if you don't want to, if this is the end of our journey, I bless you and release you, right? And then have those 3 other emails. I wanted to send you a few emails, X, Y, and Z on how to support you in your growth. Let me know, and put those people in a sequence. And then at the end of that sequence, all the ones who have clicked and engaged, add them back to your list. And those who haven't engaged, whether it's they see it and they don't open it, or it's buried in their spam folders, whatever it is, spam, junk, promotions, all those other ones.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they're not seeing it and they're not engaging with you, then you can take those and move them off of your list and clean it up that way.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. And I think that's, I mean, again, be real, be authentic, right? Like, don't make email this other thing, right? I mean, I think very often for most of it's like, whatever you're teaching on your Facebook feeds and your social media feeds and in your lives, like, just drop some of that in email, and see what lands with people and see what doesn't, but just be yourself and be honest. So yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I'll put in the comments too, but tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, where to find you, where you're teaching all your stuff. I know you have a Facebook group, so give us a lowdown on all that good stuff.
Cool. So I have my Facebook group. That's my main hub. I call it my tea party. Yes, I call it my tea party because I'm obsessed with tea and Alice in Wonderland and all those fun things. But it's called the Unapologetic Copy Connection. That is my Facebook group. You can find me. I have a training that I'm doing next week on how to build all of that tech so that you don't have to have that fear anymore. And that link is in my Facebook group as well. My website is down, but I have a landing page with every journey that you can take with me so that you can see how to build that. And we'll put that link below. It's a ConvertKit link. I don't have that domain recognized just yet, but those are probably the two of the best ways that you can get in contact with me. From my podcast down, it's all there. So thank you so much. I enjoyed this early.
Yeah, this is super fun, and I definitely learned some stuff too. So email is like all my top priority things I need to be more consistent at. So appreciate it. Thank you for being here, and you guys go join her Facebook group. I know she's amazing at what she does. I'm going to be on those trainings next week too. So if you guys have questions, drop them here, and we can always come back and answer them. But I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Brianna. Bye.
Bye.